Welcome back to another episode of the Outsider Sports Baseball Podcast. Corey, Jason, John, Pauline. Last show of the regular season, John. It's been a long, long road. We're here. Final one before we start playoff talk. We really get into it.
Went by quick.
How's the ride been for you?
I can't complain. I can't complain. I mean,
Been a good year to be a Phillies fan?
when you clinch the NL East second year in a row here and looking at pretty much have that second seed locked up, I can't complain.
Yeah, no, it's been a great year for you. It's shaping up to be an okay year for me. Higher expectations for the Yankees, who made it to the World Series last year, but we'll see how that plays out. But I want to talk to you, John, about something not new for this year, but for next year. Are you familiar with the ABS system?
I am.
So now we both know I actually worked on an early iteration of the ABS system. I worked for MLB, AM, Advanced Media. I was actually the operator out of the Somerset Patriots when they first ran it and they first had it working in the Atlantic League, where I would attach, a little earpiece to an umpire, connect it to a system in their pocket, and then they would have TrackMan read the strike zone from a camera, feed it to both the system in the umpire's pocket and a laptop I had in the press box. And for the first part of the year, we would just gauge what did the system say and what did the umpires say and see how many differences there were. And then after about half a season, the umpires, they had to call exactly what the system said. If the umpire thought it was a strike and the system said ball, it was a ball, and then vice versa. So it was really interesting to see how that started, back in 2019, I think that was, to now. Now each team is only going to get two challenges. It's going to be a challenge system, not a full-on automatic robo-ump ball and strike system. And the reason being is they pulled players, coaches, executives, and other people around the sport, and they found that people want to have that human element still with the umpires. They don't want to get rid of pitch framing from the catchers. It's an art form, it's a talent. But they want to get things right. So the new rule starting next season, each team's going to get two challenges. Only the pitcher, catcher, and batter can challenge. The manager can't challenge. The fielders can't. Nobody else can. Just those three. Now, in order to challenge, all you have to do, tap your head right after the pitch. You can't wait. You have to do it right after the pitch comes, and then you get that challenge. It adds a little strategy to it because you don't want to waste that challenge early on. If you're wrong, you want to use it in a higher leverage spot as opposed to a lower leverage spot. Like you're not going to use it on a 1-2 count on the third batter of the game, whether it's a strike or a ball. It doesn't make sense.
I believe, though, if the game goes into extra innings and you've used all your challenges from what I read, you get an extra one in extra innings.
So, yeah. If let's say you're going into the 10th inning and you have no more challenges left, you'll be given one for the 10th. And let's say you use it in the 10th, you get another one in the 11th. Now, they don't compound. You don't get two in the 11th if you don't use one in the 10th. But in the extra innings for both teams, if you go into that inning without a challenge, you get a fresh one for each extra inning. So again, each team will have one challenge in each inning of extra innings.
And I'm assuming it follows the same rule as like during the game, that if they get the challenge right, they keep it.
Right. If you get the challenge right, you keep it, but you won't be able to get 2 or 3 or 4. You won't be able to build up.
It's just one.
Right. If you have both your challenges going into the extra innings, you still have both challenges.
Yeah.
You just won't get any new ones until you utilize those and start a fresh inning. So the reason, they're doing this, and I do want to add that this is not a ghost runner type situation. This will be used regular season and postseason. It is here. In spring training this year, that's 288 games. they averaged 4.1 calls, or 4.1 challenges, I should say, per game. That doesn't sound like anything too crazy. And that's including both sides. It's not 4.1 per team, 4.1 total.
That's just the whole game.
That's the
Like
whole game.
for
And
the
it
single
took an
game.
average of 13.8 seconds to do that. It's a very quick challenge. And if you had to take a guess, which side do you think benefited more from the challenge system? The pitcher catcher side or the offensive side?
I want to say the pitcher catcher side.
Pitchers, catchers, that defensive side, they overturned the call 54.4% of the time. They were successful that percent, while the offensive side, it was literally 50-50 in whether they were right or wrong when they challenged.
Yeah. I just
So,
feel like it's easier for a pitcher and a catcher to see where the ball is like in the zone rather than a hitter, because a hitter thinks the ball's there, but it's really not and stuff, unless it's like egregious and it's really, really bad. I mean, I've seen some really, really bad one this year. Really, really bad ones. So I'm glad they're doing this. I feel like it should have been done way earlier, way sooner. So, but I think you're going to see a lot of pitchers benefit this, especially the really good one, like especially like the top pitchers.
yes, the ones that really know the zone, even the best hitters are going to be able to benefit from it.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things where the reason they're doing 2 challenges per team is through their polling, through their, market research, they found that people want, no more than about 4 or 5 challenges a game. They don't really want it to be utilized that much. They just want to have it in their pocket, and 2 challenges fits in that, that bag right there. Well, how do you feel about this system?
I mean, I think it should have been implemented like literally
Right.
like this year, honestly. I mean, they did it in spring training and worked really well.
But
I
all the
mean,
little intricacies, the 2
yeah.
challenges, would you want there to be more or less? How do you feel
I
about the
think
extra inning rule?
I think it's fine. I think it's fine. I mean, I'm glad. I mean, I was kind of iffy on it, if like how you said they first did it, where they were just calling what the thing said in their ear when you
And
first did it
when they did
around
that,
there. Yeah.
the issue was that a majority of the pitches were called balls because pitches were, thrown outside the zone and, just
It's
missing,
just
or they were pitches that started out of the zone and crossed in too late, and that
so
was an issue they were facing.
so I mean that would have been like one issue I would have been worried about, is just like having the system call the balls and strikes and taking the human element out. But it's like at the same time I would have been okay with it for how
Right.
bad the umps have been lately. Like it seems like they just keep getting worse and worse every year. So I mean I would have been like, fine, if you're gonna get the right call, get the right call. Because but to have like two challenges, you have 2 challenges, and if they get it correct, they keep them. I think it's good, because I mean, how many like that's about? I mean, how many really bad pitches there are that change like a game? There's usually about 2 or 3 in
Right.
a game. So if you can, because I mean, if you look at I mean, because most umps, I believe, if you look at, I think like the umpire scorecards on Twitter or X, whatever it is now, usually are up in like the high, like 98, 97% for calling games. Like most umps do pretty well, and they
Right.
keep a
Yeah.
pretty consistent
There's
zone, even if they are calling it wrong.
always room for improvement.
Yeah, but there's usually like a couple pitches here and there that can change a game. So I think the 2 challenges for a team is perfect, and giving them like an extra innings fine. Like I don't think it hurts, because you want to get the correct call. Like when it comes
Right.
down to it, you don't want to lose on you don't want to get rung up on a ball that's like 2 feet out of, like, a foot out up from the
Right.
plate, which I've
It would have put
so
Angel Hernandez out of a job if he wasn't out of one already.
so he could have
Now,
benefited from it actually.
no, because he would have fought it. He would have like thrown anybody out. Anybody that wanted to challenge him, he would have chucked them.
He would have just saw it up and just
Yeah.
called the wrong thing anyway.
It's interesting. I'm curious at how this is going to really work and how the adjustment period is going to be.
Well, I think the players liked it in spring training, and I think a
They
lot of
said that they
them.
had like I think it was like a 60 to 70% like positive favorability.
So
That's not
I mean,
bad at
that's
all.
pretty good. I mean, when you look at, I mean, that's for most things set aside. When you get about 70% of people positive about it, and the rest will probably, they'll get used to it. So I
Right.
think I don't think it'll be a big deal.
I'm pretty purist on when it comes to baseball. I'm pretty sure I've established that. I think I'm fine with this, and I still just hope that they phase out the pitch clock because pitch clock violations are the stupidest thing in all of sports.
I dislike that. I mean, I think I'm with you, like baseball purist too, kind of thing. I think the ABS system's fine.
I
I
think
think
that's
it's one of those things
fine.
needs to kind of happen, especially with how it is. I don't think they should be adding more
Right.
challenges or anything. I think this is where it should be at.
Right. This
Pitch
is the
clock, no.
example of like a
Yeah.
positive rule
Yeah.
being added
Positive
to
rule
help the
change.
sport as opposed to the ghost runner, which is a negative rule, and the pitch clock, which all you had to do was implement it in the minors and let the majors, kind of run on their own time because then you'll get guys conditioned to pitching quicker
That's
without a
exactly
clock.
what I say. Yeah, because I mean, if you put the pitch clock in the minors, I mean, they're going to have a faster. They're going to go through their stuff faster and everything. And if you want to do the ghost run in the minor games too, that's fine. But it's like when you do playoff baseball, you don't have ghost runners. So
Right.
like that should tell you everything that you need to know right there. If it's not in the
Exactly.
playoffs, like plus you look at the World Baseball Classic. No, I don't think that no ghost runners, no pitch clock. Like
Do they not do a ghost runner there?
I don't think they do ghost runner. I don't think they did ghost runner in the WBC.
I thought they did for some reason, but
They
I could be wrong.
might have, but I know, but there's definitely no pitch clock.
But we were talking about playoffs and how they don't implement it. We do have a new playoff picture. Things have changed. So, in the National League side of things, Milwaukee, Philadelphia, Dodgers, 1, 2, and 3, all three have clinched playoff spots. Wild card wise, the Cubs and Padres are the 4 and 5. They've both clinched. Right now, the 6th seed is the Cincinnati Reds, a team that I said was going to be a playoff team, the third wild card before the season. I feel pretty vindicated. I just didn't expect it to be at the expense of the New York Mets, who are currently on the outside looking in. American League, Toronto is the only team in the American League to have clinched a playoff spot. Crazy with 6 games left to play at the time of recording. Seattle is the number 2 seed now, and Detroit is now the 3. So Seattle's really come on strong. They're looking to get possibly a bye out of the wild card round, where a week ago they were, struggling to even make the wild card. The Yankees are the 4. Boston is 5. They're the top 2 wild cards. Cleveland right now is the 6th seed. That means Houston is right now out of the playoffs. But Seattle, Detroit, New York, Boston, Cleveland, and Houston, none of them have clinched. The Yankees, if they beat the White Sox in that first game of the series, at the time of recording, they are up 1-0. They would clinch a playoff spot. At that point, they have the second best record in the American League. But there's a couple close races here. I want to get your take on each of these, John. You ready?
Mm, yep.
That third wild card in the National League, Cincinnati and the Mets, they're tied. Cincinnati has the tiebreaker. What do you think?
Well, if you're looking at like the Red schedule right now, I mean they play a series against the Pirates at home, then they play a series away in Milwaukee, and then if you look at the Mets, they play a series away in Chicago against the Cubs, and they play a series away, at the Marlins.
A bar
So
in Chicago, John, by the way, I saw something really funny. A bar in Chicago said today that the Cubs are taking on New York's version of the White Sox. And it was kind of funny getting a little dig in there at the Mets. How do you think this race is going to shake out?
I mean, it's going to be close because I mean, you look at the Cubs. I mean, the Cubs have been, I mean, almost just as good as the Brewers for most of the season right now. And I'm not sure how they've been playing lately, but I think they've been kind of up and down lately and haven't been as good as they have been for the majority of the season. But yeah, the Brewers, who also haven't been as good as they've been, this kind of second
Right.
of the season. So
They've
it's going to be,
altered a bit.
yeah, it's going to be really close.
Give me your prediction. Go with
I'm
the
going to
mind,
say
not with the heart.
the mind. I'm going to honestly, the mind, I'm going to say the Mets barely squeak in there.
Do they get bounced in that first round of the wild card?
Probably if they're playing the Dodgers, probably.
Next
but I think
race.
they're getting.
Next race is that third wild card in the American League. Right now, Cleveland and Houston are tied. Cleveland has the tiebreaker.
You know what? I got to stick with Houston.
You'll go with Houston.
I got to stick with Houston.
Not the hottest team in baseball, the Cleveland Guardians.
What? I mean, they're going up. You got Tigers, Rangers.
Is that
coming
because
up.
Cleveland is going to win the division and the Tigers are going to fall out of the playoffs?
That can be kind of. Could you see that? Could you imagine that?
It's in
I
the
mean,
cards.
there's somewhat. I mean, it's just the AL is just so far up the grabs. It's like there's just so much going on, and then also the fact you look at the Astros. I mean, they're going against the Athletics and Angels.
There's a 1-game difference between the Tigers and the Astros.
I mean, is there like? I feel like the AL. I feel like it's really hard to call. I mean, I want to stick with the Astros because I mean I had the Astros for weeks and weeks as the favorite to go on there to kind of make it to the World Series there and everything. So it's like I why change now?
So the next race then will be the AL Central. Detroit leads Houston by 1 game. Detroit leads Cleveland by 1 game.
I'm just saying, like, some of these are just so hard to call because it's like because it can go, like, a lot of these can go either way. I mean, like, legitimately, like, you can see a thing where the Astros don't make it, Tigers, Cleveland are in it. You can see one where Cleveland's out, Tigers, Astros in. I mean, there's so many, and it's like I don't know if you can, even though I said actually, like, I don't know if you can legitimately accurately say without a doubt, like, this team's gonna win, this team's gonna do this, because it's just too close.
It's tight.
It's just so close.
Do you want a couple easy ones?
Give me easier ones. I don't think, like, 'cause a lot of these teams are
Right.
very even in my mind with how good they are.
AL East, Toronto leads the Yankees by 2 games with 6 to play.
No, I mean, obviously, I feel like how have the Blue Jays been playing?
The Blue Jays in their last 10 games have been 6-4.
And the Yankees
have been 7-3.
And they have an easier, and they have like an easy
the Yankees
end of the schedule
the Yankees end the season hosting the White Sox and the Orioles. Meanwhile, the Blue Jays end the season playing the Red Sox at home and the Rays at home.
Well, I'm gonna have to go the Yankees here.
Wow.
I'm gonna have to.
Now the Blue Jays do have the tiebreaker, so the Yankees do need to win by a game.
Well, I think if the Yankees can't sit here and sweep the White Sox at home, I think they have a bigger problems. They have problems.
Right.
That needs to be settled before you go in the playoffs there. So, like, because I'm thinking they should very easily be able to sweep the White Sox at home, and they should at least, like, win the series against the Orioles.
They just took 3 out of 4 from Baltimore in Baltimore.
Yeah. So, I mean, they should very easily just win that series.
Hopefully.
So, I mean, and because if the Yankees, if you're the Yankees and you want any hope of, like, getting back to the World Series, like, you're gonna need to show
right
that you belong there. They're gonna have to step up and have the pitching and the offense there to show that they're a World Series contending team.
I agree.
And if they can't get in the first, I mean, tough road. If they can't win that, it's gonna be a tough road.
Then the last race I kind of want to discuss, that's the Dodgers, who lead the Padres by 2.5 games.
You know what? I think the Padres.
Yeah,
really. I think they come back.
Really, 2.5 games with like 6 to play.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's enough time. I don't know if there's enough time.
I can see it though. I can see it though.
Wouldn't that be something?
I disagree.
I think that both the Blue Jays and Dodgers have this more or less on lock. But wouldn't it be crazy if the Yankees and Padres both were able to fight their ways back?
I mean, just going off of, just going off what you've seen all season. I mean, how many times you see teams get like really hot and then like immediately just like fall off? I mean, it may just be me watching the Phillies, and I just have like kind of PTSD from just seeing them. Like they'll all of a sudden they'll score like 13 runs in a game, and then they'll lose, and then they just do nothing for the next like two series. Like they just can't score a run.
Right, their offense kind of
Like
goes stale.
just goes stay. Like they use all their power and hits in that one game, and then just they're done for the rest of the series. So it's like
Possible.
I mean, I'm just saying like anything can happen
Right.
and stuff, and it's not like. And frankly, I just don't know if the Dodgers are as good as they're made out to be.
We'll have to see. I think the Dodgers probably have the experience itself is going to carry them far, but we'll see because they'll be playing in the wild card more like round more likely than not. So we'll see how that really goes about it. Now let's talk a little studs and duds. My stud, Cincinnati first baseman Spencer Steer, in 5 games, 17 at bats, he got 6 hits. 4 of them went over the fence, 4 home runs, 10 RBIs. Pretty crazy. More RBIs than hits. He's hitting 353 over that span, those 5 games. Good for a 1.448 OPS. That's a big reason why the Reds are in a position they are. Spencer Steer got hot at the right time. My dud is probably one of the first we've ever had on this show, an offensive and defensive dud. I'm going Toronto backup catcher Tyler Heineman. Do you want his offensive or defensive stats first?
Let's go with the defensive stats because I don't think we haven't had a defensive stat dud. I don't
Now,
think ever.
it's not even defense. He pitched 1 1/3 of an inning in a game as a position player pitching. Gave up 13 hits, 10 runs in that 1.1. Even 1 home run, so a lot of those came on actual hits. His ERA is 67.5. If that's not a dud, even for a position player, I don't know what is. Because I've seen guys, get clean innings as a position player more often than not.
I think some of them try harder than others. Like some of them just go in and they just don't care. Honestly, I don't know if MLB should do something about that or not.
They tried to do more,
I don't
get rid of the position players by making, you need to be up, X amount of runs. I think they could have just left that. I didn't think there was that big of an issue, but it's always fun when your team's up and either you throw a position player or they throw one.
Yeah, it's fun to see that. I know some people lean towards a mercy rule thing, which I would think that would be the thing ever to happen.
No. And then offensively, in 2 games, 6 at bats, not much of a sample size, but worth noting. You got 1 hit, 1 RBI, but 1 hit, hitting 167 with a 3.34 OPS.
That's better than your dud last week. Who would you have? Like the one was it 0 hits? I think
my dud last week was a Eugenio Suarez who had 0 hits and 21 at bats.
Did better than him.
Yeah, very true. Not Suarez might have been the duddiest dud that ever dudded.
That might be the worst one this season.
Now, who's your stud and dud?
My stud, I guess, very likely rookie of the year winner, another catcher, Braves catcher Drake Baldwin, 10 hits, 10 RBIs, 2 home runs, batting .435 with a 1.405 OPS. So, I mean, if he's going to win rookie of the year, these are the numbers. I mean, he's putting up some good numbers here at the end here to, make a case for himself. I'm not sure who else is in the race anymore, but I feel like he's probably a very, very likely winner of it at this point in time.
I mean, he's probably the favorite.
I think so.
But, it's not to say that there aren't other players in that race.
I think there's at least another. I think, do the Marlins have like the rookie catcher too? I think that might be in contention.
The Marlins have Augustin Ramirez, who
Yeah.
was my pick, and he's kind of fallen
He's
off.
falling off.
Cade Horton of the Cubs, Caleb Durbin on the Brewers. They're all there. Obviously, Augustin. So you still have some pretty solid names there. If I want to add to it, Jacob Mizorowski with the Brewers, Jacob Marcy with the Marlins, the center fielder. So there's definitely more names than not, but I think it's Baldwin's race to lose.
Yeah. Now, my dud, Mariners.
Mariners, hot team, 9-1 over the last 10.
Mariners.
Who is it?
Randy Arozarena.
Randy.
He has 2 hits out of, I think, 2 for 29 or 2 for 24. I can't read my
That's
handwriting.
twice as many hits as Taylor Heineman.
That's great. Yeah, and he has 10 strikeouts. And batting .069.
That
with
is
a .090 OPS.
That is somebody who is not a reason for the Mariners' success during this stretch.
Not great at all. At all.
But Randy, with the record for most home runs in a single playoff, Mariners get in. Can he bring some of that Tampa magic with him? We'll see. Let's talk a little team, though. As always, Ben's not here, so we will start with the Mets. Since last week, the Mets are 3-3. They went 2-1 versus the Padres, 1-2 versus Washington. They are 80-76 overall. Last 10, they are 4-6. They're 12 games back of Philly. They are tied with Cincinnati, as we said before, for that third wild card. Cincinnati has that tiebreaker over the Mets. 5.5 games back of the Padres for the wild card, too. That race has sailed. The Mets are 1 up on Arizona in that wild card race and 3.5 up on San Fran. So San Fran is kind of fallen by the wayside. Arizona is still knocking on the door. There is a world where both the Reds and the Mets don't make the playoffs and the Diamondbacks do.
I feel like that's kind of maybe a bit unlikely considering I think who the Diamondbacks have to play.
Yeah, what's their remaining schedule?
Here. I feel like because I was just looking at something. I feel like they were playing. Let me double check here.
But as you look that up, it's going to be tough. But it's one game.
They're playing the Dodgers and Padres.
Yeah, the Dodgers matchup, as Dylan would say, that is a rough
so
go of it.
It's at home with the Dodgers and away, and then it's at San Diego.
Yeah, that's
so
going to be tough.
That's tough. So I'm like saying it's
possible. It's not impossible. But the Mets now, they can make it. They have a soft landing spot. They end the season with the Marlins. They're playing, the Cubs right now.
Mm-hmm.
They can survive that Cubs series without falling too far back. The Marlins are a beatable team. But it's going to definitely put a big magnifying glass on what the Mets do this offseason if they do miss the playoffs, because do they look to not rebuild, but they did kind of they did kind of jump the gun. Last year was supposed to be a rebuilding team, and they kind of went all in. They got Soto. They have Holmes, Frankie Montas. They didn't build the team the greatest way. Now they have 3 really young, great stud pitchers in McLean, Sproat, and Tong. They have some really good young players like Jet Williams, Ryan Clifford, guys like that, Carson Bench. So they could either just let the young guys play next year and see how that goes, where they could sacrifice not making the playoffs again to give those young guys a chance to really play, or they can trade, for a guy like Joe Ryan or a Byron Buxton if they can get him out of Minnesota, or any of the number of players, maybe Marcus Semien, Corey Seager leaves the Rangers. So there's a way. Maybe they go after Alex Bregman on free agency. They still have to deal with Pete Alonso opting out.
I still think they need to bolster the starting pitching too, even with the young pitchers. And
so they could trade for a Joe Ryan.
Yeah, that's a huge thing. I think the pitching is probably more so than the bats.
Right.
I just wonder. It's just like how urgent do they want to be? Because I mean, you have
Exactly.
Soto there for a while, so it's like, but it's just like how many seasons do you want to waste? Not
Exactly.
waste, but like how many seasons do you just want to wait around
Yeah,
trying to
Lindor's
get a
not
team?
getting younger. Nimmo's already on the older side of things.
And
Alvarez
it's
has
like
worked out,
Soto
so you need to
is
work
he'll
on
get older
catcher.
before you know it too.
We'll see what they do, but it's going to be telling. Do the Mets squeak in and get embarrassed by the Dodgers? Do the Mets win around, go on a little bit of a run? Play the way everybody thinks that they're capable of, or do they, not make the playoffs, get embarrassed by a middling market like the Reds, and kind of squander what's a great year from Soto, Lindor, Alonso. Like, what do they do?
The question is just how urgent do they think it is? Like,
Right.
do they think they still have time? Are they in a sense of urgency? Because they don't seem like they are.
Exactly. Now,
Like they didn't
another
seem
team, but
so.
another team though that their window is rapidly closing due to age is the Phillies. The Phillies are 2-3 since last week, 1-1 versus the Dodgers since they took the opener of that series, 1-2 versus the Diamondbacks, 92-64 overall. They're 6-4 in their last 10. They're 12 up on the Mets, as we mentioned. They're 2.5 games back in Milwaukee for that 1 seed, and they're 4 up on the Dodgers for that 3 seed. John, the Phillies window's closing. Wheeler's older, Nola's older, Harper is older, Castellanos, um, Schwarber free agent at the end of the year, Ramuto's older, Bohm isn't even half of what he was last year. Is it? Is this possibly the Phillies' only shot to really a wide open NL? You don't have a juggernaut like the Dodgers or the Padres in your way. I mean, things could look, radically different for the Phillies next year.
I mean, this by far is probably one of the better chances they've had at winning the World Series. I still think the best one was when they lost to Arizona in the NLCS. But I mean, it's a better shot. I mean, next year. I mean, it's not looking. I mean, next year. I mean, they're still gonna have all their. There's not a ton of pitching. I mean, but I mean, they have a lot of questions marked this offseason because like Ranger Suarez contracts up. I mean, I think they're pretty much done with Castellanos. Like I think they're done with him. I mean, Bohm's contract's up. I mean, Schwarber's contract's up. JT's contract's up. But I mean, regardless, I mean, you expect them to sign at least a couple of those guys, and regardless, they still have Luzardo for one more year. You still have Noel, even though he's not been pitching good, but I think he will get back on track. I mean, and then you still have Christopher Sanchez. So, like, they're not, and you know, they still have at least one more good year, I
Right.
think, with it. But after that, it's going to be, they're going to start relying on the younger guys coming up. So, I mean, you have Crawford coming up. I mean, hopefully Painter like is back to his usual self next season. So you have Aiden Miller. Um, like they're fine. I'm not too worried because I think they're still going to be good for a while. I mean, I don't think like if anything they're going to be go from like a team that's going to win the NL East to a team that's like a wild card
I mean, they could
spot
though.
team.
They could be a team next season just on the fringe of the wild card. The
It's
Mets,
possible.
Braves. The Braves will be better. The Mets should be better. The Nationals and Marlins are rapidly improving.
See, I just have to hope that the Phillies make the moves. They sign Schwarber, like they just sign the players they need back, and maybe go
Right.
out and get people like players they need. So I
Now,
mean, but this year I think
right.
they're in a good spot. I mean, this
Do you
is
like
the
the
year.
idea of a week layoff between the Phillies' final game and then their next game after missing the wild card round?
Honestly, with all the injuries they've been having, a week off is not the worst thing in the world. Because I mean, you have Trey
Is it-
Turner still
Yeah,
out with his
is
hamstrings,
he going to be back?
so he should be. I think he'll be back. So like that week off there helps a ton. For that. I mean, you still have Edmundo Sosa is out, I believe, still. I mean, you have, Bohm, I think, just came back off an injury. So it's like this late. I mean, it's just kind of. stinks because they're if they're hot, hot bats and stuff. You don't want it kind of stinks to take them out of the rhythm there for a week, and then they have to go in kind of cold.
Right.
But if they've done this before, they know what they need to do. You would assume that they know what they need to do to go in and be prepared for that series
Of course.
coming off the one
Do you
week
think
coming off
that
week
they
two.
have a legitimate shot at the 1 seed?
Uh, we talked about this a little bit before the podcast, and I said I don't think so anymore. I mean, last week kind of had me believing a little bit. This week, I'm not too sure, considering they just dropped that series against the Diamondbacks. So it's kind of tough. Like for a little bit, I mean, you almost got like worried almost that the Dodgers were going to sneak up and take the second seed a little bit, but I mean
But
they lost the game to the Giants when the Phillies lost, so it's not a huge deal. So and I think they have to win like 3 more games and stuff to clinch the second spot, I believe,
yeah,
from the
it's gonna be
Dodgers.
tight.
So it's tight, but I mean I have faith. I mean I'm just worried about their pitching is not looking great right now. I mean you had Ranger Suarez, I think match his career high total for earned runs in like a game with like 6,
Really?
I believe. The last like when he pitched against Diamondbacks. So it's like they're just kind of fun. I mean, Nola's dropping. Like I don't like Nola has like one good game, one bad game. You have Ranger not pitching great. I mean, it's just like and then their bats like randomly go cold. Like they're hot, 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 and then all of a sudden just ice cold immediately. So
Right. So they need to get hot, and I do think having that week-long layoff is going to cool off their bats a little bit.
I think so too, but like I said, I think it's good because of the injuries. So you want to make
Right.
sure everyone's good, especially Trey Turner.
And
So
now, but going on to the Yankees, who, second best record in the American League, same record as the Dodgers for what it's worth, same record as the Cubs. The Yankees are 5-1 since last week. They went 2-0 after losing the opener to Minnesota, 3-1 in a 4-game set versus Baltimore, losing 2-1 right now versus the White Sox as it stands in the top of the 6th inning, going into the bottom of the 6th. 88-68 overall, 7-3 in their last 10, pretty good. They're 2 games back at Toronto. Toronto has that tiebreaker, so it's effectively 3 games. It's going to be tough, tough, tough. You need a lot of things to break your way. You need to win your games. Likely not going to happen. I don't give it, more than a 5% chance if I'm making up my own numbers, because it just seems so difficult for Toronto to lose the games you need and then you to win the games. If the Yankees swept Baltimore on that Friday night when Toronto lost, it would have been a 1-game difference. It would have been a lot different, but that's not the case. The Yankees are 3 up on Boston, who has that second wild card. They're 4 up on Cleveland and Houston, who do have that third. They're tied. Cleveland, obviously, with the nod over Houston. And then just because Texas is still in it, the Yankees are 5 up on Texas. Texas is knocking on the door with, my bad, Texas is 5 out between Cleveland and Houston. So 9 up the Yankees are on Texas. But still, Texas is not eliminated. They have a shot, worth noting. Same with the Royals. Yankees are 10 up. So we'll see. Obviously, a lot needs to break each other's way. I think the Royals might be eliminated, but I'm not positive, which is sad because they were a playoff team last year. But with the Yankees, it's tough. You have, the best outfield in baseball. Your run differential is among the best. The Yankees have a plus 144 run differential. No team in the American League outside the Red Sox have a run differential over 100. The Red Sox at 105. The next closest is the Rangers at plus 82. The Yankees are scoring a lot more runs than they're given credit for. Their expected win-loss, 92-64, the best in the AL. They're 1 game over 500 versus teams over 500. And just to give their run differential even bigger context, the Phillies are at plus 122. Yankees are, like I said, plus 144. The Brewers are at plus 180. That's the only team better than the Yankees. So the Yankees, it's tough because you want to think that they're going to do good. The offense is much deeper than they were last year, even without Soto. Bellinger, Jazz is playing better. Goldschmidt, Rice, Grisham. Obviously, you have Judge, Volpe, Caballero, Wells, McMahon. Not really factors, but they can all provide a hit or a spark if you really needed to. They're likely going to host Boston. That stadium is going to be raucous. It's going to be loud. It's going to be crazy. Not sure if I'll make it to a game or not. I'd like to. We'll see. But Yankees Red Sox is going to be tight.
You think the Yankees make it past that?
I would like to think that. The Red Sox scare me more than any team in all of baseball, just because of the history between the two teams. I just feel like the Yankees, if they can get past the Red Sox, they'll play the Blue Jays most likely, or they'll play the Tigers or the Mariners. We'll see how that shakes out, those divisions. I don't know how I think they'll do versus them. If I had to take a guess, right now they're on pace to play the Blue Jays, who are the 1 seed. That's going to be tough. In Toronto, Toronto having 3 of that 5 games set. I'd like to think the Yankees could push past it. And then, they're not home free, but it's anybody's ball game. I just don't know. I mean, the Yankees are perennially going to be in the race. We talked about how the Phillies window is kind of closing. The Yankees, as we've mentioned before, haven't had a losing season since the season they drafted Derek Jeter. The Yankees are always in the conversation for the playoffs. I think they've missed in my lifetime the playoffs like 4 times.
That's like insane.
Let me fact check that, but
Fact check things. I know the Phillies. I mean, when I was young, from like around 2006, 2007, all the way up to like 2011, the Phillies were like fantastic and then just fell off.
So since in my lifetime, the Yankees have missed the playoffs 6 times. Only 6. The Yankees missed the playoffs in 2008, 2013, 14, 16, 20, and 23. Isn't that pretty crazy? Like 6 times they've missed the playoffs in my whole life.
I wonder how that stacks up to like some of the better teams.
So here, give me a team and I'll check for you.
Let's go to the Phillies, because it's like
since 2000, the Phillies have missed the playoffs 7 times.
That's not. I felt like that would be a lot.
More. I'm not born in 2000. I'm just using that as the cutoff right now.
Cutoff. Yeah.
So that's a little less impressive.
Let's see. Let's see, like another. Who's like another juggernaut team that you think of when you think like good teams? Like
let's go the Red Sox.
Red Sox.
They've missed it 14 times.
See, that's a lot more than you would think. What about the Dodgers?
I'm trying to find it. It's not coming up as easily. Let me check here. Let's see. I'm trying to look. It's tough because the way I'm looking at the other teams, Google has right at the front page. The Dodgers, not so much.
6 times. They missed all the way. They missed like 2000, 2001, 2, 3, 5, 10, 11, 12. And then they made every year from 2013
how many times
to
is that?
2020. 6.
So you said
I think 6. I think they do. Wait, no, that's more. So it's 1,
I was going to say
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It looks like.
So the Yankees and the Phillies seem to have been the best teams since 2000.
I think, or it was about like. No, it's 6. Is it 6? 2000, 2001, 2, 3, 5, 10, 11, 12. No, it's not. Yeah, I don't know. I asked ChatGPT. ChatGPT's weird.
ChatGPT it doesn't matter.
But I think they missed that. But the Dodgers made it from like 2013 to 2024, like continuously.
But with the Yankees, we'll see. They could either go on a deep run or they can get knocked out in the first two games, swept out by Boston, and that'll be that. Let's highlight some series though. I'm going to pick Cincinnati at Milwaukee. Cincinnati needs to win games versus good teams. If Cincinnati makes the playoffs, Milwaukee's a team that'll be waiting for them if they can make it out of the first round. I think this is going to be a good barometer about how the Reds will face up against a team who's in October, likely hoping to dominate October. And I think it's going to be a really fun set to end the year. What about you?
Michael highlight. I mean, we just talking about. I have the Dodgers at the Mariners. I mean, going to be a game that might decide a lot of playoff, seeding here. Because Dodgers 2.5 games up on Padres right now. Mariners 3 games up on the Astros. So, I mean, someone has to lose.
Someone has to lose.
Someone has to lose.
And it's going to be tough. It's going to definitely spell trouble for somebody, make it a lot tighter than their fans would like, and give the other side hopefully some more breathing room. Tuesday, September 30th, that's going to be when the wild card round starts. Everybody's going to get that Monday off after the season ends on Sunday. 9:30, every team is going to play. You're going to have 4 games, and that's going to go. The divisional round is going to start Saturday 10-4 and run until 10-11 if all games go the distance. So we're talking playoffs. Like the wild card starts a week from today as we're recording on Tuesday. Like the Yankees will in all likeliness be hosting the Red Sox, 7 days from now. And that's scary to think about how it could be over in the blink of an eye. This long, arduous 162, plus preseason, spring training and all that. Like we've been following these teams pretty much every day since pitchers and catchers reported in mid-February. And then after next Wednesday night, after the second game of the wild card, it could all be over. And you'll just have a lot of nothingness and emptiness to answer for. I hope that's not the case. I really do. I get very nervous when it comes to the playoffs because I really want to see my team win. I haven't seen my team win since I was like 11 years old.
And you can't fall back on football.
I can't fall back on football. Jackson Dart starting on Sunday. I'll be there. Rutgers lost to Iowa. It's not a great time for my fandom.
Not having a fun time, Corey.
I need the Yankees to give me some joy. I need, especially because Dylan, the other Yankee fan, is an Eagles guy. He's got enough joy. I need some joy. Let him get double joy then. Or better yet, let only the Yankees be good out of all those teams we mentioned. But, John, do you have any final thoughts about the playoffs approaching, the season ending? Any final parting words for the regular season?
Honestly, not perfect, but a surprising thing is like the NL Central.
Yeah.
I think, I mean, they looked like a powerhouse this year a little bit with the Cubs and the Brewers.
Which is surprising because they were almost like a joke last year.
They were, and they're looking like they're, gaining their strength back. That's the only thing. I just, NL Central might be like the new, NL East kind of there.
Yeah, I mean, even the NL West is
they're kind of, I don't know,
but nothing will top the AL East.
Nah, who knows?
Toronto, Yankees, Boston, your Orioles. So. Even Tampa's always pesky. But, yeah, that's going to do it. John Pauline, Corey Jason. This, has been the Outsider Sports Baseball Podcast and our coverage of the regular season. Next time we talk, it'll be playoff times. My final parting words, Aaron Judge is the MVP. Cal Raleigh had a great year. He is not the MVP. Good night.